Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a big fan of all things movies, music, pop culture and physical media. And today I wanted to show off some things that I'm adding to my collections in a physical media haul. So lately I have reopened the floodgates that I used to have closed when it came to buying movies and stuff. You obviously can't see my full collection from this corner I'm sitting in, but I'm pretty much surrounded by just stuff. I have lots of CDs, DVDs, vinyl, Blu-ray, magazines, books, programs, random pop culture stuff, tapes, cassette tapes, just anything and everything. And so for a while I slowed down a bit because I'm like, I have so much stuff, but then I'm like, so much comes out all the time. So yeah, this is what I've added to my collection in the last little bit. So we'll start with something different, and that is magazines, and this is Vogue Australia's May 2026 issue with Anne Hathaway on the cover. It's pretty much promoting the new Devil Wears Prada movie, The Devil Wears Prada 2. And I did see this movie in the cinema the other day and I really enjoyed it. I thought it brought up a lot of good points in terms of things going on in, I guess, the media industries today. There we go. So here's the profile. But yeah, I'm a big fan in general of magazines because beyond just the cover star and who's on it, I love the different articles. I obviously love the write-ups, but even the advertising that's done really well is so cool to look at. And yeah, I just think it's special to have all of these archived, and it's important to own these physically and be able to grab them. And obviously I wanted this one because I'm a big fan of Anne Hathaway, and so yeah, I was very excited to have it. And also Vogue Australia is very easy for me to get because I am obviously in Australia, whereas sometimes if I get international Vogue magazines, I get them 3, 4, 5 months after they've come out. The next thing are the CDs I got, which is just one, and that is the La La Land score. This has been on my list for so long. This is 30 tracks, and here it is. I love La La Land so much. I love this cover art. This movie is so special to me. I saw it so many times in the cinema when it came out, and last year I saw it on a rooftop cinema as a rewatch, and that was amazing. And it just moves me and inspires me. And when I first saw it, I cried in the first 2 minutes, the opening with Another Day of Sun. And I've always loved the score, and for some reason it was hard to get for a bit, and then I found it and it was super easy. So I'm very happy to have this. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I love a movie soundtrack, but I also love a movie score. I have a whole lot, and I love to put these on while I'm doing anything. I think a movie score is so impressive, especially when you listen to it and you know exactly what scene it was from, because it just stands out and it's just so impressive in that way. And yeah, La La Land is one of those for me. Now we get to the DVDs. So I don't know how much I actually have to say about these, considering I've seen none of these, which is fun for me. Lately my thing has been to watch what I have to then justify buying more, which never works, because now I've bought in the last 2 weeks 20 new movies. Some I'd seen before, but I've added 20 new movies to my collection, and 4 of them are in this pile. So the first movie is Who's That Girl from 1987. It stars Madonna and Griffin Dunne. I keep seeing Griffin Dunne in random movies and it makes me laugh because he always just seems to pop up, but obviously my main draw to this was Madonna. And I've seen Madonna in a few movies like 4 Rooms, Desperately Seeking Susan, Dick Tracy. She's in A League of Their Own, but I haven't watched it yet. And in the last couple months I watched Madonna Truth or Dare, which I've spoken bit about before in videos, which is like a documentary movie about Madonna on tour. And I just love Madonna, and I will watch and listen to anything Madonna does. It's also an 80s movie, which is right up my alley. Again, like, I love an 80s movie. It doesn't take much for me to enjoy a movie from the 1980s. The next movie is Decision to Leave, which has been on my watch list since it came out, and I've had multiple friends say to me, you need to get this or watch this, like, it's important. And apparently this is a drama mystery movie, which means I'm gonna be like locked in, but also it's in Korean, and I enjoy foreign films a lot, and I enjoy the fact that you have no choice but to be locked in as well, because obviously if you don't speak the language you need to read the subtitles, and I enjoy movies with subtitles. I don't like watching English movies with subtitles, but if I need to watch a movie with subtitles, I will. The next movie is Honey Don't. This came out last year and is directed by Ethan Coen, who is one of the Coen brothers, and it stars Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, and Chris Evans. And I don't know much about this movie. I remember when it came out and I missed it in the cinema, but I was like, this seems intriguing enough, and I always enjoy the movies by the Coen brothers, whether they're individual or together. So I'm keen to watch this because, yeah, I have no idea what it's about. I'm just reading it now. Yeah, it looks fun. And the last movie I got is Sorry Baby, which is a movie I have been eyeing since it came out, again in the cinema, but then also when I've seen it on shelves, because firstly there's a cat and I love anything to do with a cat, but also the way this movie was being spoken about in awards season and how a lot of other actors were talking about it. It was like well known to be really good and moving. This is also written, directed, and stars Eva Victor, which I'm always impressed by. I always find that really inspiring when someone can pull that off. So I am really keen to watch this movie. I know virtually nothing about it. Oops, I forgot another movie from my pile, and that is Wuthering Heights from 2026, the Emerald Fennell adaptation of Emily Bronte's book. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really pretty in cinema, and yeah, I thought it was like a stunning watch. So I very much enjoyed it, and yeah, I bought it because it came out last week. I will say I do think it's important to buy new releases when they come out, because again, it sends the message to big companies and distributors and retailers that people want new things that get released. So I think it's important that things are bought like relatively soon after they release as well, and it's important to buy new releases as well as go thrifting and collect movies secondhand. And the final thing I got in this haul is this Paul McCartney book, 1964 Eyes of the Storm, and it is like a Paul McCartney photo book, and pretty much it's photographs he took and that were taken of him in the 1960s, like when the Beatles were doing heaps of stuff, and it's so cool. I need to have a proper look through this. But yeah, I've had this book on my list for ages because I'm a massive Paul McCartney fan and a massive fan of the Beatles, and I love photo books and anything like this, and especially when it comes from said person and the person directly involved. Like, that's my favorite. This is something else I added to my collections, and this is not movies, books, or anything like that, but it's these pop figures, which I haven't bought stuff like this in years, but these new Princess Diaries ones came out, and like I say, I'm a big fan of Anne Hathaway, and these movies are some of my favorite movies ever, so I had to because they're really cute. So I got both of the Princess Mia ones. That's the one after the makeover, and then that's the one at the ball. Yeah, so I'm just putting it on the shelf. So that's a recent haul of things that I've added to my collection and my displays, I guess, and it's all very fun and exciting to find new things and add them and curate your space and curate what you watch, listen to, read, and decorate your space with. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.